The chemical smell burned my nose before I even opened the door. I walked in to see a scene from a horror movie. A pool of bright red, toxic 3D printing resin was soaking into my brand new beige carpet, and my $1,000 printer was dripping with the sticky goo. It looked like a crime scene. A violent one. The resin had splashed everywhere, up the walls, across my workbench, and deep into the fibers of the rug I had installed just last week. My nephew, Tyler, 9M, was standing in the middle of the red lake. His hands were coated in it. His shirt was soaked in it. He was holding the UV cover of my Elegoo Jupiter printer like a shield. "It looks like blood." Tyler cheered, smearing a handprint onto the wall. I dropped my bag. My brain short-circuited. Resin isn't just paint. It's a toxic photopolymer. It causes chemical burns if left on skin. It cures hard in sunlight. And it smells like death. "Don't move," I shouted, rushing toward him but stopping short of the puddle. "Tyler, don't touch your eyes. Don't touch your face." "Why?" he asked, rubbing his nose with a resin-coated finger. "No," I screamed. My sister, Amanda, ran into the room, holding a half-eaten sandwich. She saw me screaming. She saw the red room. "What did you do to him?" she shrieked, dropping the sandwich. "He knocked over the vat," I yelled, grabbing a roll of paper towels. He took the cover off mid-print. "Amanda, get him to the bathroom. Wash his hands with soap and cold water. Now. It burns." "Burns?" Amanda looked at the red slime. "Is it hot?" "It's chemical," I shouted. "Go." She grabbed Tyler, getting resin on her own hands, and dragged him to the bathroom. "Oh, you're hurting me," Tyler whined. I stood alone in the disaster zone. The printer was groaning. The build plate was still trying to move, grinding against the spilled resin that was seeping into the motor housing. I reached over and ripped the power cord from the wall. The silence that followed was heavy with the fumes. I looked at the carpet. The stain was expanding. Resin doesn't dry like water. It stays liquid until UV light hits it. But if I opened the blinds to air out the smell, the sunlight would turn the carpet into a solid block of red plastic rock. I was trapped in a dark, toxic box. I heard Amanda yelling in the bathroom. "It's sticky. It won't come off." I grabbed a bottle of isopropyl alcohol, IPA, the only thing that dissolves uncured resin, and ran to help them. When I got to the bathroom, red water was splashing everywhere. Amanda was scrubbing Tyler's hands with hand soap, which does nothing against resin. "Use this," I said, pouring the alcohol over Tyler's hands. "Alcohol." Amanda recoiled. "That stings. Are you crazy?" "It dissolves the resin," I explained, scrubbing Tyler's skin myself. His hands were red and irritated, bordering on a chemical rash. "You poisoned my son." Amanda screamed, pushing me away. "What is that stuff? Why do you have poison in your house?" "It's 3D printer resin," I yelled back. "It's industrial material. I told you the office door was locked. How did he get in?" "The door was sticky," she said. "He just pushed it. He wanted to see the robot." "He destroyed the robot," I said, leaning against the doorframe, adrenaline crashing into despair. "And the carpet. And the walls." "It's just red paint," she scoffed, drying Tyler's hands on my good towel, ruining it. "We'll pay for a carpet cleaner. Stop acting like it's Chernobyl." I looked at her. I looked at the red handprints on the bathroom door. "It's not paint, Amanda," I whispered. "And a carpet cleaner won't fix it." "Stop rubbing him." Amanda swatted my hand away. "He's crying. You're burning his skin with that alcohol." "I am neutralizing a toxic chemical," I yelled, recapping the IPA bottle. Tyler's hands were red, partly from the resin irritation, partly from the scrubbing. "Amanda, do you understand? If this stuff cures on his skin, it can cause severe dermatitis. It's not Play-Doh." "Well, maybe you shouldn't have toxic chemicals in a house where family visits," she snapped, drying Tyler's hands roughly. "You're irresponsible. Who keeps poison in a bedroom?" "It's a workshop," I argued, and the door was closed. He opened it. "He's 9, she shouted. "He explores." You should have had a padlock if it was so deadly. God, you are so dramatic. Come on, Tyler. Let's get away from your crazy uncle. She marched him out of the bathroom. I followed them back toward the disaster zone. When we reached the doorway of my office, the fumes hit us again. It was a sweet, chemical stench that coated the back of your throat. Amanda looked at the red pool soaking into the beige carpet. She wrinkled her nose. Okay, so it's messy, she admitted, waving a hand in front of her face. But seriously, Opie, look at it. It looks like cough syrup. Or thick juice. Just get a bucket of hot soapy water and a sponge. It'll scrub right out. Soap and water. Ich zerrte her, incredulous. Amanda, resin is hydrophobic. Water doesn't clean it, it spreads it. If I put water on that carpet, it will just push the resin deeper into the subfloor. And once the sunlight hits it, it turns into hard plastic. I can't scrub a plastic rock out of a rug. Then keep the blinds closed, she said, as if that solved everything. Use some bleach then. Or that OxyClean stuff. Honestly, you're making this into a crisis when it's just a spill. I spill wine all the time. It comes out. This isn't wine. I pointed to the printer. The red goo was dripping from the Z-axis screw into the vat mechanism. The printer is destroyed. The motors are gummed up. The LCD screen is probably coated. That machine is $1,000. The carpet replacement is another $1,000. You owe me $2,000. Amanda laughed. It was a sharp, barking sound. $2,000? For a stain? You are out of your mind. I am not paying $2,000 because you left your door unlocked. That is your negligence tax, not mine. Negligence. I felt my hand shaking. I was running a 20-hour print. I was working. Your son trespassed and destroyed my equipment. He wanted to see the robot, she yelled. He was curious. You should be teaching him about science, not screaming about money. You care more about your stupid machine than you do about your nephew's safety. I just washed his hands to save his skin. I countered. You scrubbed him until he cried, she retorted. We are leaving. This environment is toxic, and I don't mean the syrup on the floor. I mean you. She grabbed her purse. Don't bother calling us until you apologize to Tyler for scaring him. If you walk out, I said, I'm calling a hazmat cleaning crew, and I'm sending you the bill. Go ahead, she sneered. Send me a bill for cleaning up syrup. I'll frame it. She stormed out the front door. I stood there, wearing a respirator mask I had grabbed from a shelf. The red pool was spreading. She thought it was syrup. She thought I could use soap. I pulled out my phone. I wasn't calling a carpet cleaner. I was calling a disaster restoration company. Because this wasn't a stain. It was a biohazard. I didn't touch the carpet. I knew better. I called BioClean, a company that usually handles crime scenes and chemical spills. When the technicians arrived in Tyvek suits and respirators, my neighbors came out to watch, probably thinking I was cooking meth. This is bad, the lead technician said, poking the sticky red sludge. We can't clean this. It's soaked into the padding and the subfloor. We have to rip it all out. And we have to do it in the dark, basically, or it'll harden and bond to the concrete. They sealed off the room. They tore up the brand new beige carpet. They had to scrub the concrete subfloor with industrial solvents. Then there was the printer. I sent photos to Elegoo support. Their response was basically, do not turn it on. It is a fire hazard. The resin has likely penetrated the main board. Total damages. Hazmat cleanup and carpet removal, $1,800. New carpet and installation, $1,200. Elegoo Jupiter printer, $1,000. Resin or consumables, $100. Total, $4,100. The invoice. I sent the invoice to Amanda via email. I included photos of the guys in hazmat suits. Subject, invoice for chemical spill remediation. Amanda, attached is the bill for the cleanup and replacement of property. Please remit payment within 30 days. She replied instantly. Amanda, you are insane. I looked up carpet cleaning on Groupon. It's $99. You hired spacemen to clean up syrup just to be dramatic. I'm not paying $4,000 for your drama. Blocked. The court case. He sued. In small claims court, Amanda showed up with a bottle of Aunt Jemima syrup and a sponge. "Your Honor," she told the judge, looking smug, "my brother is a scammer. He spilled some goo and hired a SWAT team to clean it up. Look, syrup cleans right up with water. He's just trying to get a free renovation." I walked up to the bench. I handed the judge the material safety data sheet, MSDS, for the photopolymer resin. It had big red skull and crossbones symbols on it. I handed him the receipt from the BioClean company stating hazardous material removal. The judge, an older man who looked very tired, put on his glasses. The judge said to Amanda, "This document says this substance causes chemical burns, respiratory irritation, and is toxic to aquatic life. This is not syrup. This is industrial waste." "But it looked like syrup," she argued. "How was I supposed to know?" "Ignorance of the hazard does not absolve you of liability for the damage," the judge ruled. "Your son entered a workspace and released a hazardous substance." The verdict: judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $4,100 plus court costs. Amanda turned purple. "I don't have that money. I have a lease on a new car." "Then I suggest you return the car," the judge said. The aftermath. She didn't pay. I garnished her wages. It took 2 years to get the money back. My parents were furious. They said I ruined the family dynamic over a rug. I told them they were welcome to pay Amanda's debt if they felt so strongly about it. They stopped asking. I have a new printer now. It lives in a locked cabinet. And my office door. It has a biometric deadbolt. Tyler is fine, by the way. His hands peeled for a week, but no permanent scars. Though I heard he's terrified of red jello now. I lost a sister, but I saved my house. And every time I walk into my office and smell nothing but clean air, I know it was worth it.